All right, today we are diving into an absolute classic by one of India's literary giants, Munshi Premchand. The story is called The Coward, and it's built around a question that is, well, timeless. What happens when your heart wants one thing, but society, family, and duty demand something else entirely? So let's just put the central question right out there. When these two massive forces, love and duty, go head to head, which one gives way? This is the conflict that's going to drive everything, and ultimately, it's going to shatter the lives of the two young people at the heart of the story. So let's meet our lovers. We have Keshav and we have Prima. They're classmates, they're young, they're deeply in love, and in the world they live in, their relationship is basically impossible. It's a romance that is forbidden from the very start. And here is the absolute heart of the problem. It's all about the caste system. See, Keshav is a Brahmin, that's the highest priestly caste. Prima, on the other hand, is a Vaishya, the merchant caste. And back then, that gap was like a giant, uncrossable canyon. He's this modern idealist, right? He thinks love conquers all, that these old rules are meaningless. But Prima, well, she loves him just as much, but she's also devoted to tradition. For her, her parents' honor is everything. So you've got him, ready to fight the world, and her, terrified of what that fight will cost her family. You can really feel how torn Prema is in this moment. She's desperately trying to find some kind of middle ground, some loophole. She asks Keshav, can't we just have a bond of souls? Basically, a spiritual love, a friendship. Something that doesn't require a marriage that would bring shame on her family. But Keshav? He's an all-or-nothing kind of guy. For him, that's just not enough. Okay, so all of this internal struggling that Prema's been doing, it's about to explode outwards in this really shocking moment of open defiance. Things are about to get real. And here's the trigger. Her father, who really does love her, comes to her with what he thinks is the perfect solution. He shows her a picture of a potential groom, a guy who has passed the Indian Civil Service exam. Now, you gotta understand, this was the golden ticket. This meant a future of wealth, power, and major respect. This was the ultimate catch. And Prema's response is stunning. She doesn't just say no thank you. She attacks the very foundation of what this man represents, calling him thoroughly selfish. This is the pivot. You can literally hear Keshav's modern ideals coming out of her mouth. Her love for him has completely changed who she is. But wait, she's not done. Not even close. In this incredible act of bravery, she goes to her room, comes back, and puts another picture down in front of her totally shocked father. And yep, you guessed it, it's a picture of Keshav. So her father asks the one question that changes everything. Is he of our caste? The second Prema says Keshav is a Brahmin, the game completely changes. This isn't just about a disobedient daughter anymore. This is a direct threat to something called Kul Maryada. Now, this is a huge concept. It's not just honor, it's the entire family's reputation, their social standing, the purity of their bloodline. Suddenly, the stakes are astronomically high. What follows is just awful. Prema is forbidden from seeing Keshav, and she just falls apart. She sinks into this deep grief, and for 6 months, she literally wastes away. Finally, her father just can't take it anymore. He reaches this heartbreaking decision and tells his wife that he cannot sacrifice his daughter for the sake of family honor. His love for his child finally wins. And this is what leads us to the climax. Prema's father has made his choice. Now he has to go face Keshav's family, pitting his brand new progressive outlook against a rock-solid wall of old-world tradition. So, in an act of just incredible humility, Prema's father goes to Keshav's house to propose the marriage himself. This is a huge break from tradition. He's swallowing his pride, risking total public humiliation, and he's doing it all for his daughter's happiness. The reaction from Keshav's father is, well, it's brutal, and it's immediate. He is absolutely outraged. He doesn't see a father trying to save his daughter's life. All he sees is a lower caste shopkeeper who has the audacity to think his daughter is good enough for his pure Brahmin family. He basically throws Prema's father out in disgrace. So when Keshav gets home, his father is waiting for him. And there's no discussion, there's no debate. It's just a cold, hard ultimatum. Choose the girl, and you lose everything. Your home, your family, your inheritance. You will be cut off completely. So this is it. The story's devastating turning point. All of Keshav's grand ideals, all his promises about love conquering all, they're being put to the test. Now he has to choose. And the most tragic part? Prema has no idea that disastrous meeting even happened. Her heart is just full of hope. She writes this beautiful letter to Keshav, telling him she's ready for any struggle, as long as she has him. She thinks their dream is finally coming true. Her family prepares for his visit. The evening comes, then night falls, and Prema just waits. You can feel her anxiety growing with every single hour that passes. But he doesn't come. No message, no letter. She waits there all night long. His letter finally arrives the next morning, and it's basically a death sentence for her hope. The very man who taught her to be brave admits defeat. He writes that he just doesn't have the strength to fight anymore. He tells her to forget him. And just like that, the light goes out, all that hope is extinguished, and what follows is the quiet, absolutely heartbreaking end to Prema's story. After she reads the letter, Prema doesn't break down or collapse. Instead, she becomes eerily calm. She just goes about her day, doing her chores, she serves dinner to her family, and then, late into the night, she sits down and plays her harmonium. It's like a final, deliberate ritual. The next morning, they find her in her room. The story ends with this image that's just so tragic and hauntingly beautiful. The sunlight is streaming in, lighting up her pale face, making it look for a moment as if she's still alive. She chose to leave a world that wouldn't let her have the love she fought so hard for. And that leaves us right back where we started, with that title, The Coward. So, who was it? Was it Keshav, who talked a big game about bravery but folded the second things got tough? Was it Prema, for choosing an escape rather than facing a life of compromise? Or was the true coward the society itself, just too scared to let go of its own cruel and outdated rules? What do you think? I really want to know. Who was the real coward in the story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And for more deep dives into powerful stories just like this one, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.